5 Toyotas in the final round of qualifying here. Let's meet one of those drivers. Jamie?
Well, Bubba Wallace making the walk down pit lane. That's a good sign because he's moving on to the second round. So qualifying here has been good for you. 7th in the first 2 outings the last 2 years. What do you think? Can you better it?
Yeah, that's good to know. Is I couldn't remember anything about this place last year, or let alone 2 years ago. So qualifying 7th. I know we've ran okay here, so we put a lot of emphasis into this weekend. Just a little bit on the tight side. We made a move from practice qualifying and it wasn't enough. So just kind of exposing the car right now in the areas that I need it to be better. But all in all, good weekend here. McDonald's, St. Louis, had a lot of history here. It's been good.
You know, when you guys as racers come to the track, you don't just show up and race. You guys put in the time in a lot of these towns. Yesterday you did something special with your team. What was that? Yeah,
we went to the Matthews-Dickey Boys and Girls Club right down the road from here, and was getting it summer prepped. We were hanging up all the pictures, fixing up, hanging TVs, just making it look good for when the kids come through the summer hours. So that was a lot of fun, getting the guys involved, and yeah, it's just the small things you do. They always add up, so it makes you feel good at the end of the day.
Nice job by you. You're going to have the day free. You going back to your bus? You're going to work on some Legos? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I got a Lego set I need to work on. I'm not to the extent of Willie B, but we share on what we have going on. So I got that, and I got my laptop or my gaming PC on the bus. So we'll see. I might just take a nap. I don't know. I like to sleep. So
don't sleep. The truck race is coming up, and I have great news, guys. The sun is coming out.
All right.
Things have changed, Kevin.
William
Lagana or
look
Legos. Is that a what?
That's a Boston Dynamics robot.
Well, of course.
You can call it a dog, but
well, what else would you call it?
Yeah, I don't know.
That is awesome. Check that out.
You need one of those, Clint.
I'm speechless. I don't even know. I don't know where to go after the Legos.
Well, William Byron is the Lego building king of the garage area right now, and you know where he got that from?
Where?
Jeff Gordon.
Really?
Yes.
Also,
huge Lego builder.
Legos, video games, and naps. The game has changed.
That came from Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Wow.
5 Toyotas, 4 Fords, and Kyle Busch's Chevrolet. In fact, this is the first time all season Hendrick Motorsports has not had a car in the final round of qualifying.
I seen that. Wow, you're playing for the fucking white.
Uh-oh.
All right, Group A will go first. Kyle Busch ready to roll off. That Rebel Bourbon Chevrolet. You know that stuff's 100 proof.
Well, I like it.
Good.
I like being a rebel, and I like bourbon. Perfect fit.
You're too old to be a rebel.
I'm running out of rebel. 100% true.
I love that.
I am running out of rebel.
When I can get a short answer out of you, that means that we're putting your mind to work.
That birthday bothered me this week. I saw it online.
65.
Wow, that's a number, man. You know how it resonates with you as you remember your dad, right? I remember when he turned that, and I was like, I thought he was older than dirt, and here I am.
Creeping in.
Guess this, my son, you know what I got out of cash this week? He texted me happy birthday. Text me happy birthday. I called him immediately. I said, buddy.
Wait a minute, and you were home?
Text me happy birthday.
Gosh.
Oh, no, I've been out on the road,
all right.
and he was home.
Well,
he said, well, I meant to call you. I said, yeah, busted.
All right, Kyle Busch, 32.704 in round 1. A little sunshine on the track now.
Yeah, that'll change the game, Kev.
You heard a little bit. You heard a lift of the throttle on the exit of turn 2. That's going to be what you don't want to do.
.842. So a fall off of 14 100ths from round 1. Ty Gibbs 32.698 in the first round. 32.814. Fall off of 12 100ths.
Always fun to hear these guys do the work inside the car, the shifting. The drivers are so busy at this racetrack with all the downshifting, upshifting, the way that you use the brake. It's just it's a busy lap every time around for the drivers.
Christopher Bell was 32.681 in round one.
We talked to Christopher Bell this week on the podcast, and just to hear him talk, Clint, we talk about it all the time, just the speed that the 20 car has. They've had a tough 8 weeks, but to come back and win the Coke 600 fixes it. Winning cures all.
Always does.
He's fastest, 32.687. That's a fall off of only 6 1/1000ths.
So now the question on everybody's mind is where's the fall off? Is it just the tires? Is it the fact that the sun comes out? Probably a little bit of both. All that goes into the equation.
Christopher Bell, quick back to the throttle, allowed him to just about equal his round one time. Austin Cindric, 32.62 round one.
Rolled that middle of the corner very well, was able to stay to the gas, kept the momentum down the backstretch. Can he do the same in 3 and 4? Good Art getting in, stays on the bottom lower than Bell. Driving off into the sunset here. Got a ways to go for the sunset, but he's going to do it.
32.577. Austin Cindric is the first driver to better his first round time, and he does it by about 5 100ths.
Good speed in 11 car. Denny Hamlin in the first round ran a 58. See what he's got.
Yeah, and as the sun comes out, Clint, you want to go as quick as possible, because if the racetrack heats up, the speed is going to immediately go down.
Definitely lost speed and right in the middle of 1 and 2 rotation and getting back to the throttle.
Boy, those Toyotas have good mid-corner speed, though. We've seen that all day. Hamlin third, 32.72. So that's a fall off of 14 100ths. Austin Cindric betters his round one time, and he is fastest after the 5 drivers from Group A have made their second round pass.
Bring on the boat! Fox Tuesday, 2 new families clash for a chance at a ton of cash.
What words were originally acronyms?
What is a noob?
The Quiz with Balls, all new Tuesday on Fox.
Next Saturday, it's Super Saturday on Fox.
Here we go, buckle up.
It all starts across the pond as the Phillies clash with the Mets in London. Then the Belmont Stakes, live from Saratoga. And New York City lights up as the Dodgers battle the Yankees. Super Saturday on Fox.
This June, drop what you're doing for the Summer of Stars. Because we're serving up Copa America and the Euros. Summer of Stars kicks off on Fox and FS1.
What do we have here? He is back. Surprise, surprise, or seen it coming? A trophy hunter or a party crasher? What if it was all that and a whole lot more? NASCAR Cup Series from St. Louis on FS1.
With over 75 million monthly Tubi viewers, more people watch Tubi than visit Old Faithful every year. Which means Tubi is more popular than spewing boiling hot water all over the place several times a day. Tubi, it's more popular than Old Faithful.
Sometimes I imagine what I'd write today for my dear friend Martin. I'd remind people that all hate thrives on one thing: silence. The people who will change the nation are those who speak out, who refuse to be bystanders, who raise their voices against injustice. When we stand up to silence, we stand up to all hate.
The best of the best. Battle for the CONCACAF Champions Cup Final. Tonight at 9 Eastern on FS1.
Austin Cindric is fastest. 14 Penske, after the Group A drivers have made their final round qualifying lap. 32.577. 5 drivers to go from Group B, beginning with Brad Keselowski, who ran a 32.67 in round 1. That time, if he backs it up, would be good for second right now.
Hey guys, Denny Hamlin just told Chris Gabehart, I'm not sure if the sun has made a difference, but the track was substantially different there on that lap versus his lap in the first round. And just like in round 1, Austin Cindric went to 3rd gear, both ends of the racetrack. Of the 5 that's qualified so far, he's the only one that's went to 3rd gear in 3 and 4.
Well, that's going to be a rhythm thing because you have to have your brake pressure adjusted to the downshift that slows you down into the corners. So it's going to be hard for these guys to adjust to that in turns 3 and 4 because they really don't know how much brake pressure they need to use with that downshift. But you see the acceleration from Cindric compared to Keselowski right there with the difference in gear and the way that he's able to accelerate.
Rolled the middle well too. Rolled the center of both ends very well. And when he got to the gas, just like you talked about, he was able to stay with it. Very affirmative.
Keselowski 8/100ths off of his round 1 time. Here's Bubba Wallace, 32.66 in the first round. And if he backs it up, that would be good for second right now.
Drove it in there hard, got loose.
Watch the penalty he pays. Had to chase it up the racetrack. All the way down the backstretch. Slow to the throttle. These long straightaways, you just continue to pay the price.
Full sun on the racetrack now as Wallace completes his lap.
Now it's making a difference, in my opinion. This track is drastically changing.
32.77, that's an 11/100ths fall off.
I think the track is changing a little bit, but I think how far Bubba drove it in the corner definitely.
Both ends too.
Yeah, had to use more brake, didn't get through the middle of the corner and back to the throttle like Austin.
Got too greedy.
Ryan Blaney was 32.66 in round 1.
If somebody knocks Cindric off of this pole, they're going to earn it. This track is definitely heating up.
Look at that.
He's going to lose grip. That's the center that I was talking about. But Blaney, when he got back to the gas, boy, he sure gripped and ripped through 1 and 2. Let's see if he can hold it in 3 and 4. A lot of sun down on that racetrack. Rolled to center well, just like Cindric compared to the competition. Even better than Cindric, but look at the throttle difference. Here he comes back.
Second for Blaney by 4/100ths. He ran a 61, so he was also, like Cindric, 5/100ths faster than his first round time.
Stay disciplined in this race car.
And
take what it'll give you.
This is a racetrack that you can do that, Clint, because you'll see these markers going into turns 1 and 2. There's a 3-2-1. You got to have the good markers to do the same thing that you did in practice, the same thing that you did in the first round. Do not overdrive this car. But you see Tyler Reddick way off into the corner.
Easy to do, but he was able to stay to the throttle. Here he comes. Had to lift a little bit at the wall. Lost it.
And just that late to the throttle doesn't pay off down at the end of the straightaway. So that's where Austin Cindric, you see it braking again. He's going to be late to the throttle on this end because of how deep he got into the corner.
Disciplined.
Reddick was 32.65 in round 1. Here's a 32.70. So a fall off of 5/100ths.
One more bullet to dodge. It was a track record holder. Here he comes, Michael McDowell.
It's a big one. If he gets the same fall off as everybody else, he would still be on the pole.
And just do what you did in the first round, Michael.
Just stay disciplined. Hit them marks.
Let the car do the work.
Yes, sir.
32.31 in round 1 for McDowell, seeking his 3rd pole of the year and 3rd of his career. All of his poles have come this season.
He just rolled with speed, faster into the corner, through the corner, exiting the corner.
It's going to be an all Ford front row, no matter what.
Mate, yes, sir. Here he comes. He's going to get it.
From a 32.31, Michael McDowell.
How about that?
Clocks in at 32.46. He falls off 1/1500ths. The biggest fall off of any of the top 10. Still wins the pole.
These guys have done a phenomenal job of figuring out Saturdays. Man, they're fast. Qualifying speed almost every single week. Great job, guys. Big day.
Jamie.
And great starting spot for Austin Cindric, who ties his best start, starting on the front row for the second time. What was that like? I know you thought they were all going to pass you, as they did on the entry, but at the end, you had to wait for the final 34 car.
Yeah, I know I got some really good exits, which makes watching that really, really frustrating because, you know, they're all going to pass you on entry. It's just whether or not you got enough. But, yeah, obviously the 34 guys did a great job. Michael definitely put two really great laps together and felt like I got it all on our end. So I felt like I left a little bit on the table the first round. So good to gain on the second. So, yeah, Freightliner Ford Mustang's fast, but stick with front row for now.
This has been a good place for you, run top 11 both races here. How beneficial is it to start up front where you are and get that pit selection?
It's important as long as I don't speed on pit road. That's a critical aspect of this, at least my race last year. So execution super important. You know, tire strategy, where the cautions fall are going to be super important for tomorrow. But obviously the Penske cars are fast and proud of the work the guys have done. Just got to go out and have a good day tomorrow.
Well done. Mike.
Well, it took Michael McDowell almost 470 career starts to win his first pole, and now he's got 3 of them in quick succession. Larry tells us that both McDowell and Cindric went to third gear at both ends of the racetrack, the only 2 drivers in the top 10 to do so. Jamie.
And how about that? Michael McDowell said he nailed it in that first round. You didn't mess it up, obviously. You get the 3rd pole of the season. How was it from your perspective?
I was close to messing it up. I had a little moment there in turn 3. Got just a little bit loose and had to catch it. But luckily was able to recover quickly and get back in the throttle. I'm just so proud of everybody at Front Row Motorsports. I mean, I know this is our 3rd pole of the year, but to do it at a short track, a flat track, not a super speedway, really proud of everybody. We got Siteman Cancer Center on the car this weekend, first time for them. So excited to start from the pole tomorrow. Really proud of everybody. It's a cool team effort here.
I know pit road can be treacherous. I know track position is key. So how important is this for you guys to have that #1 spot tomorrow?
Oh, it's huge here because, you know, they've widened pit road here a few feet, but we've seen it where it's just really critical to get off pit road here. And it's tight, especially as guys do 2 tires, 4 tires. So having that first stall and being able to launch from your box and have a clean shot out will be a big deal tomorrow. But right now we're going to celebrate today. We'll worry about tomorrow morning, but really proud of everybody. It's a great effort, and all of our partners, Horizon Hobby and Love's Travel Stop. And, you know, we got great partners. It's a great race team. Big news for Front Row, getting a 3rd charter this week, too. So there's a lot of great momentum happening. And we need a win. We need a win to get into the playoffs, so we're going to fight hard for it.
Love the excitement. Enjoy the celebration. Mike?
Michael McDowell's previous best start here was 17th. What a difference a year makes. We'll be back to wrap things up from Worldwide Technology Raceway, where Ford has swept the front row for tomorrow's Enjoy Illinois 300.
No matter how old or young you are, I'm that grandfather that's going to make it happen. Classic Gen X overachiever.
You can still become America's next Master Chef.
I'm a millennial. I'm not worried about a thing.
Gen Z, we have nothing to lose.
I feel like this dish is giving me a hug.
I don't usually cook with alcohol. I'm mostly drinking it.
Gen Z.
Which generation is going to win it all?
MasterChef Generations. All new Wednesdays on Fox. Anytime on Hulu.
Next Saturday, it's Super Saturday on Fox.
Here we go. Buckle up.
It all starts across the pond as the Phillies clash with the Mets in London. Then the Belmont Stakes, live from Saratoga. And New York City lights up as the Dodgers battle the Yankees. Super Saturday on Fox.
You can't stop me now.
Brace for impact. It's Friday Night SmackDown on Fox.
Listen to this place. Crowd is witnessing history tonight.
Tap into network television's greatest spectacle.
Check this out.
As the baddest superstars on the planet are unleashed in prime time.
From the heavens.
All new Friday Night SmackDown, sponsored by Progressive at 8/7 Central on Fox.
The best of the best. Battle for the CONCACAF Champions Cup Final. Tonight at 9 Eastern on FS1.
Unreal. Wow. This is insane. I mean, everything you got. Having any fun yet?
The United Football League on Fox.
14 top food entrepreneurs are fighting for a $250,000 prize.
I'm so nervous.
We want to see that you can take your business to the next level.
Chili for children. Square Eats.
Top drops.
You are Team Vanderpump.
I'd also like to be on Team Ramsey.
It's Team Ramsey
Whose idea was that marketing plan?
Sorry, guys.
versus Team Vanderpump.
You need to walk in your customer's shoes.
You're desperate to win, aren't you?
Wipe that slide off his face.
Food Stars, all new Wednesdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
What is up, Speak family? That is the brilliant Dr. Joy Taylor.
The language of sports fans is hostility, and that happens to be my love language.
Eagles all-time rushing leader, LaShawn Shady McCoy.
If I can't find it, it's in the left, I'm gonna find it somewhere in the right.
The fact that like we all actually rock with each other, you can't fake it.
Young energy, young takes. We fly, we all look good.
Who do I agree with?
Yourself?
With over 75 million monthly Tubi viewers, more people watch Tubi than visit Old Faithful every year, which means Tubi is more popular than spewing boiling hot water all over the place several times a day. Tubi, it's more popular than Old Faithful.
It's official. First Things First is a hit. Nick, Brew, and Wiles are the MVPs of sports shows. First Things First, weekdays at 3 Eastern on FS1.
What do we have here? He is back. Surprise, surprise, or seen it coming? A trophy hunter or a party crasher? What if it was all that and a whole lot more? NASCAR Cup Series from St. Louis on FS1.
Welcome back. Sunshine on the racetrack. Good news for what's coming up next, which is the truck race a little later on here. Michael McDowell has won the Busch Light pole. Austin Cindric second. Ryan Blaney third. Ford sweeps the first 3 spots. Toyota the next 3. The only Chevrolet in the top 10, Kyle Busch in row 5. Best of the rest, Byron and Logano, Larson and Bowman.
It's going to be interesting, Mike, to see if those Chevrolets can make their way towards the front. We talked about those Fords being in the first 3 positions right there. I feel like this is in their wheelhouse as far as the way that you shift in the RPM range. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with the handling of the cars as we go through these runs.
Glad you said that. The Chevrolets, where are they at? Not much speed today, but you know when the time's right, the pay window opens, and boys will be back up front. Not so fast this day. That guy right there, impressive lap. Extremely fast. Track record, you just don't hear that much anymore.
No. Now, Michael mentioned pit road. The pit road is wider here this year because an Armco barrier out against the pit wall that separates the racetrack from pit road has been removed. This was very narrow. Not anymore.
Yeah, you can see that guardrail right there. It's gone, widening that thing out. I don't love that, Kevin. When there are challenges in a racetrack, keep them that way.
Yeah, well, the crew guys love that because the cars can get a little bit further away from them as they're trying to make their pit stop. But these pit stalls are long, Mike.
Yes, and that is a benefit here. They're about twice as long as the race car. Unlike what the drama last week with, let's see, Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Dillon, all kind of backing each other up there on pit stops.
Great entertainment last week with those 2 pit stalls.
Unless you were one of those 4.
I've never seen or heard Denny Hamlin that wound up on a radio. Boy, he was mad.
Yeah, my favorite quote from last week, brother. If we have any more conversation, we're going to fight, from Chris Gabehart, Denny Hamlin's crew chief. So I love that emotion.
Well, coming up today, Xfinity Series practice and qualifying is on FS1 next from Portland. Then we'll transition to Truck Series race day on Fox and the Toyota 200 truck race from right here in Illinois on Fox. Then back to Portland for the Xfinity Series race day on FS1 and the Xfinity Series race. So a lot of racing today across the Fox network. Congratulations, Michael McDowell, new track record and his 3rd pole of the season.
Good morning from the Pacific Northwest. Today, the NASCAR Xfinity Series rolling on the road at Portland International Raceway. We got the race coverage coming up later on FS1. Qualifying in just a bit. Right now it's practice. Brandon Jones off a good run last weekend Justin Allgaier's had it going lately. There's our reigning champ and the man that won this race a year ago, Cole Custer. And someone will be focusing on Shane Van Gisbergen. Maybe Parker Retzlaff could pull the upset. A.J. Allmendinger knows his way around the road courses as well. Welcome into the broadcast booth, everybody, with the Daytona 500 champion, Jamie McMurray. I'm Adam Alexander. He was pretty good road racer, too.
Pretty good. I liked road racing. Yeah, a lot of fun.
What about Portland? What makes this place unique?
Racetrack. So when we talk about guys like SVG or A.J. Allmendinger have long straightaways, fast corners, quite a bit of a different racetrack, and I think that brings in some other guys into the question who can challenge them later today.
So tell me why a guy like A.J. Allmendinger is so good here. I mean, he's good at all road courses, but what he did here 2 seasons ago was unbelievable.
Well, the way that he was able to win the year in the rain was amazing. He ran off before we even got to the green flag, went to the back, complained about his car the whole time. But look, AJ's able to put it all together. He put that car on his back that day. I don't think he had a winning car, but he was the winning driver on that day, Adam.
No question. He's going to be a major factor today, just like his teammate Shane Van Gisbergen. For more there, let's send it to pit road and Amanda Busick.
Hey, Adam, what a beautiful morning we have here at Portland. And as you guys were just talking, there are 2 drivers from Colleague that woke up this morning ready to flex their talents. You're talking about A.J. Allmendinger and just what a road course savant he has with 17 total wins. 11 of those are on road courses. And then you have Shane Van Gisbergen, a 3-time Supercar champion that joins us from down under. And oh, by the way, as we all remember, wins his first ever NASCAR Cup Challenge race at the Chicago Street Race. But in talking to both teams, you're looking at the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger. They say that it's his experience that will win here today. And for SVG, his team says it's his ability to adapt quickly. Whatever it is, you look at both of those guys, they raced each other respectfully and clean in COTA, and we should see more of that here today. Josh?
Well, Amanda, it's been a frustrating week for Austin Hill in the 21 car, and that's because he was fined $25,000 and penalized 25 driver points for intentionally turning Cole Custer at Charlotte last week. You see it right here. And when I spoke to Austin earlier, he said he was frustrated because he couldn't understand why Cole Custer was not penalized for his actions and what happened last week. But he said they met here at the track yesterday with Wayne Auton. He said there were things they agreed upon walking away from that meeting. There were things they disagreed upon, but he said, I respect Cole as a driver. We are ready to move forward. And by the way, Austin Hill, a very good road course guy, one of just a few that finished top 5 in both races here at Portland. So look for him to be a factor here today.
I just hope that Josh jumped in line to buy his dinner last night after the fine. That's what I'm hoping. That would be the right thing to do for a pit reporter and a driver in this situation.
Josh, can I have any comment on that?
Now that they've muted his mic, I can say something like that. That's mean, isn't it? You know, the tough thing about any practice session, but in particular road course, you only get that 20 minutes, and it's just not that many laps that you can put on the board. As we look at our format, you get 20 minutes of practice, and then we'll go into qualifying. And the lineup for qualifying, we do 2 groups, 15 minutes apiece, and that opening round will determine who makes the field, who goes home, and what the lineup will be 11 to 38. Top 10 advance to run for the pole. You get 10 minutes on the clock. Everybody goes out and chases P1.
Yeah, and I like this format, Adam, because when you come to a road course, there's always so much pressure if you have to do it in just one lap. This way you get to go out when you can try to get some clean racetrack. See right here, we're going to ride along with our winner from last year, Cole Custer. Long front stretch right here into one of the heaviest braking zones. Down into turn 1, you're going to see these guys use quite a bit of curve. You see him get a little bit loose there as he got on the brakes. Quite a bit of curve here. Getting into turn 1, getting the car turned, and you want to get a good drive on the exit of this corner. Leads over into this. I call this like a flowy section right here because it's not super fast. You see he's back down into second gear. Going to use a little bit of the curve. Going to try to use all the racetrack as we exit turn 4A. I say flowy because if you hear that, never wide open, just a little bit of throttle, modulating the brake, a little bit of throttle. You see on the bottom left of your screen, we can see his throttle. Again, not a tremendous amount of braking into this turn, but this is an important corner because it leads onto this long backstretch. If you get a good off of this corner, carry more speed, a lot of lap time to be made up. But as we head down into turn 10, this is the best passing zone on the track. Not necessarily on the entry to turn 10, guys, But right here, this right-hander into turn 11, as guys get ready to set up for turn 12, you're going to see a lot of people right in this area right here sneak to the inside.
You come down that back straightaway, it's anything but flowy, you know. I just think it's great that you waited 5 minutes to break out those technical terms on a road course. Uh-oh. 35 off track. Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, that appears to be, I'm going to say, an oil leak or a line.
You see all that fluid,
yeah. You see it right there behind him. Well, the good thing for the competitors right there is that's going to be a fairly easy area to clean up, and as wide as the stretch is, they're not going to have to drive through the oil dry for very much. Last year, you know, we had in turn 12 blowing oil line. It crushed him in qualifying, but you see that came off at just a terrible time on the track for him.
We mentioned that you just don't get much time, so it'll be interesting to see if NASCAR adds a little to the practice window so these teams have an opportunity to get everything dialed in. Parker Kligerman, fastest so far in Portland.
Just two best friends trying things that are new. We got this guy and this guy too. It's Taco.
I don't think the sitcom is working.
Yeah, I agree. At least we got these Cantina chicken tacos, though.
Inez, let me ask you. You're using Head and Shoulders, right?
Only when I see flakes. Then I switch back to my regular shampoo.
You should use it every wash. Otherwise, the flakes will come back.
He's right, you know.
Is that Tiny Troy?
The ingredients in Head & Shoulders keep the microbes that cause flakes that big.
Microbes, really?
They're always on your scalp. Little rascals. But good news, there's no itchiness, dryness, or flakes down here.
I love Tiny Troy and his tiny, gorgeous hair.
He's the best. Make every wash count.
Little help, please?
Come feed your inner child and set your imaginary friends free with items like the Unbelievable Blue Soda Pop, the Coney Island Pizza Omelet, and Blue Dazzleberry Pancakes. Inspired by the all-new movie If. Kids eat free 4 to 10 p.m. and see If only in theaters May 17th.
Looking for the perfect grill? Find yours at Ace, where the perfect grill comes with free assembly and delivery. Find a Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, or Blackstone, and get the one that's right for you. Only at your local Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Refresh your senses with a kick of citrus flavor. Do the do.
One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. New Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth and 24/7 sensitivity protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
Isn't it absolutely bonkers that you can walk into a store, hand someone a piece of plastic, and they will willingly hand over Reese's cups? Forget flying cars. This is it. We're at the pinnacle. And meet Reese's distant but delicious cousins.
Look at you, the big winner. Nah, not you. You use QuickBooks to auto-track business income and expenses, saving you 30 hours each month. That's how you business differently.
Just two best friends trying things that are new. We got this guy and this guy too. It's Taco.
I don't think the sitcom is working.
Yeah, I agree. At least we got these Cantina chicken tacos, though.
This June, drop what you're doing for the Summer of Stars. Because we're serving up Copa America and the Euros. Scores! Summer of Stars kicks off on Fox and FS1.
Well, well, what do we have here? A come down or a comeback? A risk taker or a troublemaker? A lucky run or that's how it's done?
Great job, 5 team.
Surprise, surprise? 1, 2, 3, finish. Or seen it coming? A trophy hunter or a party crasher? What if it was all that and a whole lot more?
Back in Portland, and we have a problem for Frankie Muniz. We saw him pull to a stop in the chicane. Look at all that fluid coming out of that car as they pull it away.
Yeah, and a lot of times, Adam, when you see a smoker like that, you don't know if an oil line has just come off of the car, but when you see it's a hole in the oil pan, and so that's all the oil that's contained in the engine now running. And so it wasn't that bad down the straightaway where the oil was leaked out, but then when the tow truck got a hold of him, they're going to have a little bit of work to do on the exit of turn 3.
We haven't heard from NASCAR if they're going to add some time to this practice session or not, but you can see the trail there. And they'll put the speedy dry down there and all that, but I think about the level of concentration that it takes in that chicane. You know, you take the right-hander, you take the left-hander, you make the right-hander in turn 3 down to turn 4, and all that goes into that as a driver, and now you're going to have that cloud of dust that comes up from the track cleanup, and you can see there's a lot going down there.
Yeah, and it's just, mentally as a driver, when you see that, you don't know what the grip level is going to be, so you're going to have to run a couple of laps to fill it out. The good thing for these guys, though, is this is as soon as you exit pit road, so on their out lap, when they're not worried about pushing the car, they're going to be able to run through there and get a pretty good feel for it. It's not a super fast part of the racetrack. I talked about earlier. It's kind of the flowy section of the track, Adam. So I don't think it's going to be good deal for these guys, and it's the same for everyone.
We've established the drinking word of the day is let's go to Josh.
I'll see if I can get flowy into this report, but let's talk about the 19 of Josh Bilicki. Not new to the Xfinity Series, but new to Joe Gibbs Racing, about to make his first start with this team. And we talk about races being opportunity races. This is great equipment for Josh to get this start in here at Portland. And this is a guy that has 6 starts already this year, but feels this could be his best shot at not only coming away with his best finish of the season, but maybe even a win. Coming over the radio just a little while ago, he said he likes the way this car was set up. It's really good. He doesn't really need much in terms of fixing that car up. He feels really good about what they got and what they can do if they can go back out there and continue practicing as they look under the hood right now, guys.
Yeah, no one got a lot of time, but Bilicki is 6th of those drivers that have been out and logged some laps. And I would say this, too, about Josh. You know, his background is road racing, so that's a winning combination. Good, fast car. We know the history of the 19 coming to a road course. The other cool thing about Josh is Josh Sims has got a lot of cool things, but the other cool thing about Bilicki is the fact that he got his first ride going down the entry list of an Xfinity race and looking to see which teams didn't have a driver. It said to be announced. He said, I'm going to do some cold calling. That's what gets him his first opportunity. He's been hanging around for quite some time. He's a bulldog. He goes after it, and I'm glad to see him have this opportunity this weekend.
Yeah, and I can assure you that I would love to hear what he's telling the team right now, because I bet that car is doing better than any car he's ever been in before, Adam. Probably loving the way that 19 car feels today.
Let's go to his teammate, and that would be Ryan Truex in the 20. And when you look at an organization that has spread the wealth, Joe Gibbs Racing has not only done it across the board, but they've done it in particular with this 20 team. You go back beginning of the year, John Hunter Nemechek driving at Las Vegas, he wins. Eric Almirola driving at Martinsville, he gets that grandfather clock. And then the last time Ryan was behind the wheel of the 20 car, he pulled into victory lane, career win at the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware, and he's back driving today.
Yeah, and I said it 2 years ago after Dover, and then last year after Dover. Anyone who deserves a full-time ride in the Xfinity Series, it's Ryan Truex. It is so hard to come in and be a part-time driver and to be able to win, and for him to be able to do it 2 years in a row at Dover, I would love for him to get the opportunity to be in this car full-time.
Josh?
Down here with the crew chief, Jeff Mendering of the 81 team with Chandler Smith. And first of all, how do you guys feel so far? I know you didn't get a lot of practice in about the car, and also how does this impact you with this long wait time right now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got some oil on the track, so it's not ideal. So far we're off to a good start. I liked where our laps were trending there. Didn't have the fire off speed, but I think he was just getting used to the car and he feels real comfortable with it. So pretty confident right now.
All right, well, appreciate your time.
This has been a good combination. Jeff Mendering, Chandler Smith. Chandler making the move from Colleague to Joe Gibbs Racing in the offseason. Already 2 wins this year. We're live in Portland. It's practice for the Xfinity Series.
If you have moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When symptoms tried to take control, I got rapid relief and reduced fatigue with Rinvoq. Check.
When flares kept trying to slow me down, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when my doctor saw damage, Rinvoq helped visibly reduce damage of the intestinal lining. Check.
For both UC and Crohn's, rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission.
And visibly reduced damage. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC and Crohn's in check and keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Introducing Domino's new New York-style pizza, the biggest star of your next pizza night. It's made with our fresh, never-frozen dough that's stretched thin, then topped with melty provolone cheese and cut into 6 big, foldable slices. For the perfect balance of crust, sauce, cheese, and toppings in every tasty bite. So why keep your taste buds waiting? For a limited time, you can get large New York-style pizzas with 3 toppings for only $10.99 or 2 medium 2-topping New York-style pizzas for only $6.99 each at Domino's.
Your calling. Some people find theirs at an early age, others later in life. Our calling was to build trucks, and that's why trucks are what we do. We put our everything into every truck, so that when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Right now, during the Ram Memorial Day sales event, get $1,000 cash allowance on the purchase of most 2025 Ram 1500 trucks. Hurry to your local Ram dealer today.
To 50 years with my best friend.
Quick, the Quicker Picker-Upper. Bounty absorbs spills like a sponge and is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper.
Come feed your inner child and set your imaginary friends free with items like the Unbelievable Blue Soda Pop, the Coney Island Pizza Omelet, and Blue Dazzleberry Pancakes. Inspired by the all-new movie If. Kids eat free 4 to 10 p.m. and see If only in theaters May 17th.
Bit of a slow start to practice for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here in Portland with Jamie McMurray. I'm Adam Alexander. Had a problem for Frankie Muniz. Put some fluid down on the track. The cleanup has extended this session by 5 minutes. Let's hear from Frankie now. Down to Amanda.
Yeah, Adam, Frankie is joining us outside of his hauler. Said he just got off the phone with his 3-year-old son that was crying and knowing what just happened. I'm sure we're going to take a look at a replay, but was there any warning from the car?
No, I mean, went out, felt really good, just trying to get up to speed. I know there was 2 cars behind me going down the back straight, so I just lifted to kind of let him go. And then coming down the front straight, just the motor C is going into the brake zone. So I don't know what could have happened. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty upset. We needed luck on our side today anyway to make the race. You know what I mean? We needed to get in on time, which I think I could have done, but it sucks to not even get the opportunity. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm thankful for Ford for giving me the opportunity. It's been a rough first 3 starts in the Xfinity Series for me, but I'm lucky to be here and I'm happy to be here. So
what's next?
I don't know. I'm going to go home and be with my son and evaluate what I want to do, because like I'm just keep taking hits and it's such a mental game, and I just got to be in a better mental state than I am right now to be competitive. So
thank you, Frankie. You did have an appearance at the local Ford dealership here yesterday, guys.
Hate that for him. 39 cars here. 1 will go home, and I'm not going to predict because we don't know what's going to transpire between that session, but a tough spot for that team who is not in a real good points position. So the track is minutes to go, and we focus on those colleague teammates out front, starting with a 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen.
See Shane's going to run through this oil dry. See any of it yet? Right here on the exit of 3. That's not too bad.
Not bad at all.
A little section I have to go through. You know, Shane's never been here, but as I mentioned at the opening of the show, I think this is a pretty simple track to learn. There's no elevation change. That makes it really hard to learn tracks when you have to use markers off in the distance. You see how flat this track is. Pretty slow pace through here. It's all about just keeping your momentum up. It looks like Shane wants to let AJ go here, maybe to follow him and learn a little bit about what lines he's running and maybe where he's breaking at into the corners.
Come up through turns 8 and 9 and then hammer down that back straightaway that will take you all the way down to turn 10 in a heavy braking zone.
Yeah, and you see right here, when AJ heads into turn 10, they're going to It's the curb on the inside. Oh, he actually missed that corner. Got in a little bit too deep. As they run through. You want to get a good exit here because, again, leads onto this long straightaway. He's going to get a little bit of a draft from that car in front of him. We're going to watch AJ really work his magic right here into the braking zone. You see how much deeper he's able to get into than the 24 car right there. Shows him the nose. The 24 lets him, looks like he's going to let him go. But right here, if you don't make the pass, you want to get squared up so you can get the back of the car hooked up and get a good run. And this is a good passing zone right here into turn 4.
Ed Jones in the 24. AJ pulling out of line, and he'll make that pass. Right behind him, bright red Brandt Chevrolet. Justin Allgaier, really good here a season ago.
So, Adam, these guys only got to run 3 laps before that caution came out for the oil on the racetrack. Last year, they got to run 14. It's a huge difference for someone like Shane Van Gisbergen and some of these other drivers that haven't been here. They want to get as many laps.
It's going to be a very competitive race later today. We're talking so much about the drivers from Kaulig, and rightfully so. Allmendinger, Van Gisbergen, I touched on Justin Allgaier, really good road racer, strong this season. Cole Custer leads practice. Parker Kligerman is up there. He was outstanding earlier this season at COTA on the road course. And Sam Mayer is third right now in practice, and he was the best road racer of the bunch a season ago, winning 3 times, including in the playoffs at the Roval. Ended up advancing to the championship forward in Driver 1.
You know, Allmendinger, who we were on a little bit ago, we talked about being obviously a favorite down in 8th, which is not expected of him. We'll see if he can get a couple of clean laps together. Kligerman right there, third line, the number 48 car. He's not going to run a good lap right here. He's second on the board, but being in all this traffic, that obviously will hinder your lap time a little bit. The one good thing about being in traffic, though, is you can try to set up. Oh, we've raced here twice. Once was in the rain. Kligerman was in contention to win this race 1 year ago. But the more practice you get, the more you can work on trying to set up these passes and where the good passing zones are going to be at. So important to practice.
It's a big opportunity race for that 48 team. They come in 18 points above the cut line. So it's going to be that balance. If you're fast enough to go out and win it, you want to do that, lock into the playoffs. If not, take advantage of stage point opportunities to pad your cushion over the cut. And he's got 3 truck wins, one of those coming at Mid-Ohio. So as we said earlier, really, really good road racer.
Yeah, something to watch with Kligerman, and I noticed it last year, was you see the suspension on that car really carrying the front end. I see it doing that again this year. It seems to me that they must have liked where they were last year with their setup. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. This is one of the best cameras in motorsports, though, to watch the footwork. You see Cole having to use the throttle pedal right there, a little bit on the downshifts, just trying to sync out the transmission. See him roll into the throttle a little bit.
That's quickest. He's fault. Allmendinger 1-2, followed by Sage Karam as we continue to watch that 0-0.
Yeah, for those of you keeping track at home, it took around 4 laps for Shane Van Gisbergen to figure this track out. Amazing road racer.
The land of opportunity for him as well. Not only today, next weekend at Sonoma, back-to-back road course races for the Xfinity Series. And then early next month, back to Chicago, where he won last year in his first ever start in NASCAR. Came in, cup level, and he knocked it out of the park. And there goes Sage Karam for a ride. Was third quick, as Sam Mayer's now jumped to the top.
You see, you've got to push your car to the edge to know what you're going to have in qualifying. Sage went to the top of the board at one point. You see drop down to 5th now. Got just a little bit wider right there. They're using that little bit of asphalt that you saw out, trying to make the racetrack just a little bit wider. The one thing about this corner, though, we've seen a lot here. And this track in general, it's really forgiving, Adam. A lot of room to run off. If you make a mistake at some of the tracks, you know, devastating. You get into a tire barrier or into a wall, but this place is pretty forgiving.
Turn 12 and turn 4, 2 places where you will see drivers get shoved wide off the course, but plenty of room to gather it up and return to the track. Sam Mayer leads the way here in practice. Van Gisbergen, Sheldon Creed third. He was really good at this racetrack, both 2 years ago in the wet and last year in the dry. On the stage, led 47 laps a season ago, did Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, one thing I want you to try to pay attention to here, Adam, I picked up on it last year when we were in the dry. As we watch Brandon Jones here go into this turns 10, 11, 12, as he makes this turn 12, which is going to be the and as soon as I say that, the red comes out.
That's right.
So we will not get to that. But you can hear that inside of the car as well as the car is sliding. The tires like just squealing around the racetrack. And I noticed it was really bad here last year.
That was a nice tease, Jamie.
Well, that's what I'm here for, Adam. Just a tease you.
Practice is done. Extended it by 5 minutes and still don't feel like we got a ton of track time. Qualifying on the way. Fastest in the tune-up is Sam Mayer.
Unreal. Wow. This is insane. I mean, everything woke up. Having any fun yet?
The United Football League on Fox.
Looking for the perfect grill? Find yours at Ace, where the perfect grill comes with free assembly and delivery. Find a Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, or Blackstone, and get the one that's right for you. Only at your local Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At KFC, grab 2 pieces of hot, juicy chicken, a side of mashed potatoes and gravy, and a biscuit for just $4.99. Son of a bucket, that's a good deal. New taste of KFC deals. Only at KFC.
This is the make or break moment. The chance to carve your name into the history books. This is the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Here's the deal. In this election year, people need a place to explore national issues that have an impact on their community. To understand those issues better, we're bringing together our team of local political journalists from across the country to break down what's happening. So join us every week to catch up on the key stories making a big difference across the nation and in your local community.
Watch The Big Deal with Errol Lewis Friday nights at 7:30 on Spectrum News 13. Available on all of your favorite devices exclusively on Spectrum.
The book is called Surrender. 40 songs, 1 story.
Whoa!
Yes?
How do you sleep at night?
Oh, on a mattress from Mattress Firm. I sleep.
All night long.
All right, I'm going.
It's the Mattress Firm Memorial Day sale. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 instant gift. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night.
You know, this marks the 3rd time the NASCAR Xfinity Series has come here to Portland. And I just remember 2 years ago in that driving rain, how the fans came out in full force and really embraced NASCAR being in town. Had perfect weather a season ago. Going to be great this afternoon. And once again, the fans showing out. It's early on the West Coast. A little toast off the grill. Practice is done. And here is how it wraps. Sam Mayer, the best of the bunch. Not surprising, as you said, Shane Van Gisbergen right there near the top.
Yeah, and Sheldon Creed, who we talked about, has been really good this track. It doesn't have a lot of results to show for it, but again, seeing the top 3.
Good to see Josh Bilicki inside the top 5. Didn't mention Sammy Smith during the practice session, fresh off a top 5 run. Last week at Charlotte, he was 7th in practice here. Let's hear from his teammate, number 1, Sam Mayer with Amanda.
Yeah, and Adam, Sam Mayer grew up racing go-karts on road courses, and I think he's been the winner or runner-up at 4 of the last road courses, 5 road courses that we've seen. What makes Portland so unique?
Portland's just unique because it's so flat, it's really tight and narrow, so it makes track position very important. So it's really cool that we have a really fast Arctic Camaro under me. So really cool. Hopefully we can lay it down, lap like that down in qualifying. I know the car is as fast as Xfinity Internet for sure, but this place is very unique. Track position is very important, so hopefully we can lay one down in qualifying.
Told his team on the radio, I have a really good car today. Josh?
Over here with Sheldon Creed, who was 3rd on the board in that practice session. You've been really good here, been really good on road courses. How you feeling after that practice session about your chances?
Yeah, I don't know. I've always liked Portland. Got a fast friend of Jacqueline, Toyota GR Supra under us today, so I was just trying to, pick up my pace every lap there and was able to do so. So a couple things to work on, I think, for qualifying in the race, but just gonna have to survive and and be there at the end. Hopefully it's not carnage like it's been the last couple of years at the end, but yeah, step one is bring a fast car, so we have that, and yeah, now it's just up to me to put it all together.
And Sheldon Creed led the most laps here last year, Adam, trying to finish the deal this time around.
Yeah, those 8 runner-up finishes without a victory. Maybe today is the day for Sheldon. And you look at what he's done on road courses recently, a mixed bag of results there, Jamie.
Yeah, but he's performed really well. Even though the finishes aren't there, as I was saying earlier, he's run really well. It's a great road racer. I'm a little disappointed in Josh and Amanda on those interviews. I was hoping they could get flowy, possibly worked into those interviews, but nothing from either of them.
I wanted to see the look on Sheldon's face when Josh said, how would you describe your portion of the track?
He'd say, where?
Yeah. Qualifying coming up.
If you have moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When symptoms tried to take control, I got rapid relief and reduced fatigue with Rinvoq. Check.
When flares kept trying to slow me down, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when my doctor saw damage, Rinvoq helped visibly reduce damage of the intestinal lining. Check.
For both UC and Crohn's, rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission.
And visibly reduced damage. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC and Crohn's in check and keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
All eyes on me. Brand new drip is what they see. These diamonds on my teeth. Brand new whip is what they see. Yeah.
In my bag like a bunch of groceries. All this cheese and greens just come to me.
Freedom you can't take your eyes off. The new 2024 Jeep Wrangler and Gladiator. Jeep, there's only one.
Top off this Memorial Day with $2,000 bonus cash allowance on 2024 Jeep Wrangler gas-powered models and Jeep Gladiator. Stop by your local dealer for a test drive and experience open-air freedom today.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it. So the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience.
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
At KFC, grab 2 pieces of hot, juicy chicken, a side of mashed potatoes and gravy, and a biscuit for just $4.99. Son of a bucket, that's a good deal. New taste of KFC deals. Only at KFC.
Arenado and the Cardinals take on Harper and the Phillies, or the Reds battle the Cubs. Baseball Night in America tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox.
This is the make-or-break moment. Not just for the day, but for the years to come. This is where a race isn't just about the race. It's about the doors it can open. This is the chance to carve your name into the history books. This is the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Your small business is all your dreams, all your plans, all your dough. Keep it safe and keep it yours with Spectrum Business. Made to protect with award-winning multi-layered security. First, we encrypt your data at multiple points and monitor our network for threats 24/7. Next, our advanced Wi-Fi with Security Shield defends all your devices. If it's connected, it's protected. The final layer of defense is desktop security for your computer. Protect your small business with multi-layered security only from Spectrum Business. Made to work.
Unleash your creativity at Crayola Experience. New this summer. Watch the Crayola bots sketch you into a cartoon. Then color yourself as the hero of your own story. With colorful hands-on attractions for the whole family. And one-of-a-kind Crayola keepsakes. It's a brand new adventure every time you visit. Discover a day only Crayola could create at Crayola Experience.
Get your discount tickets today at CrayolaExperience.com.
Tomorrow, the NASCAR Cup Series is back on FS1 under the shadow of the Gateway Arch. The best drivers on the planet lay everything on the line for 300 miles at Worldwide Technology Raceway. The pre-race gets us going 2 Eastern Time. Green flag 3:30 tomorrow, FS1. Michael McDowell on the pole there. Who's on the pole important later today? We'll find out when we return. Round 1 qualifying is next.
Next
Saturday. It's Super Saturday on Fox.
Here we go. Buckle up.
It all starts across the pond as the Phillies clash with the Mets in London. Then the Belmont Stakes, live from Saratoga. And New York City lights up as the Dodgers battle the Yankees. Super Saturday on Fox.
First, we did the impossible. Then you ate so many of the impossible that we completely ran out. And now, they're back! The footlong cookie is back at Subway. One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
Choose between Reese's Legendary Cup and the new metal shape? That's like trying to pick between Alex Morgan and Sophia Smith.
You don't have to choose. Same team.
So, I get both Reese's?
Actually, we get both Reese's.
Look at you, the big winner. Nah, not you.
You use QuickBooks to auto-track business income and expenses, saving you 30 hours each month. That's how you business differently.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the all-new Big Smasher Burger. Or you could settle for a drive-thru. Plus, get fries, a drink, and bottomless chips and salsa for just $10.99. See you later, tiny drive-thru burger. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. New Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth and 24/7 sensitivity protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
I'll be honest. By the end of the day, my floors, yeesh. But who has the time to clean? That's why I love my Swiffer WetJet. It's a quick and easy way to get my floors clean. WetJet absorbs and locks grime deep inside. Look at that. Swiffer WetJet.
First, we did the impossible. Then you ate so many of the impossible that we completely ran out. And now, they're back! The footlong cookie is back at Subway.
It's camping like you've never experienced before. Book your NASCAR camping experience at nascar.com/camping.
Group A cars starting to roll. It's round 1 qualifying for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Portland International Raceway. So as those drivers in Group A go out to do their work, let's hear from drivers that wait for their turn. Group B victims hanging out with our pit reporters, AJ Allmendinger with Amanda Music.
Yeah, and AJ was sitting P4 after practice, said the car wasn't good, but it wasn't bad either, kind of sitting in the middle. How do you get it to be great?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're working on that right now. The Circle Chevy was all right. You know, we kind of got messed up. We waited there, and then soon as we went out, the red flag came out. So was in a lot of traffic as well. But, yeah, I mean, it's like the car's a little bit tight, but the rear's kind of on top of the racetrack. So, you know, the infield of this racetrack, you got a lot of brakes down the front straightaway, but the infield's real flowy. So it's one of those things that just trying to get it's not going to be perfect everywhere. You're just trying to get it good kind of in most of the spots. So we got some work to do, but this track will change a lot too as it gets hotter today. But we got blue sky. Last time I was here, it was pouring down rain. So it's a good day today.
Flowy, I like it, Josh.
All right, well, Austin Hill, a guy who finished in the top 5 in both his starts in Portland. You told me last year you weren't even that good. You just had a good finish. How do you feel about today?
Yeah, I thought practice actually went really well. I was not doing a great job of spacing myself out, so I was stuck behind some guys that I thought I was a little better than. So I didn't think on our time sheet that we were as fast as we could have been. But our Bennett Chevrolet is a lot better than it was last year. Andy and the guys have really brought a fast Chevy to the track. So everybody at RCR and ECR Engines is doing a heck of a job this year. We've ran really well every race so far. I feel really good and confident about these road courses. So let's see what we can do in qualifying and put this thing on the board and be as fast as Xfinity Internet.
There you go. Good luck, Austin. Adam?
He's a big dude, but I'll tell you what, he's a sleeper when it comes to road racing. You know, and his stats are great, but he's not someone we always talk about. You don't always see him throughout the race, and then boom, he comes out and is always a player. Josh Bilicki getting with it, the 19.
Yeah, and I like the strategy right here of the 19 going out early. Josh's first time in this car, never been to this racetrack. but really good practice, top 5 of practice. He can go out, run a lap. And the one thing that we did learn last year is that if you don't get a good lap in, you have the opportunity, if you let your tires cool down over the course of these 15 minutes, to go back and take another shot at it. You see right here, this is getting down into turn 1. A little bit of a lockup as he turned down in the corner. You're just trying to push the car that little bit extra, but it doesn't look to me like that hurt him. He was able to get to both of those curbs without any problem.
45 is the time for Bilicki.
Yeah, so that's about 3/10 of a pickup from what he ran in practice earlier today. He's going to go for a second lap right here. We saw a lot of guys last year be able to run quite a bit quicker on their second lap. So I think this is a good strategy. If you think you messed up, maybe that lockup did hurt him more than what we could see right there into turn 1. Maybe he had another mistake. We'll see what he's able to put together. The car looks really good, though. I mean, you see it transferring a lot of weight. You see it picking up that inside tire, generating a lot of grip right there.
Kligerman in the 113 bracket has jumped in front of Bilicki. He leads the way with Group A as we pick up Brandon Jones, who's 4th right now. 15 minutes on the clock. Jamie indicated this. You can run as many laps as you want. Top 5 advance to the second round of qualifying. And that'll put 10 cars into that second round to run for the pole.
Yeah. Brandon was all the way.
And this is what I love, and we started doing this a couple of years ago, is we put that alternate start-finish line in. And so when you finish your lap, you can get right down pit road and make whatever adjustments you need. You don't have to make that full run around, which wastes so much track time. It's the same for both practice and qualifying as you measure speed, and there is that alternate start-finish line just beyond turn 11.
Yeah, Brandon Jones, that was a huge pickup for him. That was 7 or 8 tenths from what he ran in practice. He was all the way down to 24th. He's probably going to have to run again, though, being at 5th right now. It's probably not going to get you locked in because somebody will go back out and most likely run faster, but big pickup for him for practice.
Yeah, Jones the guy on the bubble. As we look at those 5 drivers that would move on, I look at Kligerman, tire management, he's the best of the bunch right now. Maybe he is feeling good, and there's Ryan Sieg going off track in turn 12. How about Preston Pardus jumping inside the top 5? Don't see Preston often, but when he shows up, pretty good. 23 of his 24 career starts in the Xfinity Series have been at road courses. As we look at the 7 of Justin Allgaier.
Yes, as solid as there is in the series on a road course. Doesn't have that same resume as what, A.J. Allmendinger has. But you see right here, 6 tenths up from 12th right there. It's probably going to get him into that top 5. I mean, listen, you just have to have him picked as somebody that's capable of winning this race. He's been so good at this track in the wet and in the dry. See, he just continues to climb, gaining lap time all the way around this track.
As we track Justin, he's in the green. That's to the bubble, not to the top. He jumps to 2nd behind Kligerman, 113.75. Now, Allgaier does have the win. He was dominant a couple of weeks ago at Darlington, great last weekend at Charlotte. Unfortunately for him, this team has had some problems this year, in position to win, and just had some circumstances that didn't go their way late in races. Now that they're locked into the playoffs, he's someone that could very well be a player. Is he practicing there as we look at what he's fought this year, leading late at Phoenix? He hits the wall. You see the frustration.
No, Adam, I think that he was going to run another lap, and they called him off. That lap probably didn't feel good to him, so I think he was going to go ahead and run another lap, and they called him off to get in. But he has had an interesting year. You go back, this is Charlotte last weekend, gets caught up, slides up in front of you. You talked about he and the spotter not communicating right there, but man, that 7 car, they just every week seem to be a car capable of winning a race.
I just saw him drive through those A-frames, and it made me think, boy, you might want to rehearse that, and so maybe this is a good chance to do that if you do overshoot turns 1 or 2 during the race.
There's just times in the car that it feels good, and you have a good lap going. Sometimes it doesn't feel good, and you have a good lap going. I'm going to say that's what happened right there.
Let's go down to Amanda.
Yeah, I was talking to Justin yesterday just about what happened in Charlotte. He was saying that the highlight this year has only been Darlington. It just seems like that they can't do anything right. But he said he's really been working on his emotional maturity when it comes to being a race car driver. Said that his racecraft has gone into an upwards trend, and then his riskiness has gone down. And he said that is completely attributed to, if you go back to Charlotte, that was his 450th race in the season. He said it's that maturity and experience that comes with time like that in the seat.
You bring up that number 450, Amanda, and that takes me to, if he runs the rest of this year and he runs full-time next year, you would anticipate that he's going to be one of a select few that have hit 500 career starts in the Xfinity Series, more top 10s than anyone, top 10 on the all-time wins list with that win at Darlington a couple of weeks ago. So that's a really impressive resume that he's put together. So our top 5, 6.5 minutes to go. Kligerman, Allgaier, Bilicki, Sammy Smith, Jesse Love, the rookie, has jumped inside the top 5, and a couple of fast cars out there right now, most notably the 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen.
And if you look at that, he's already 2/10 up through the first, second, third turn complex. Didn't get off turn 2 very good. You see, lost a little bit of time there, but we're going to find out. Ooh, a little bit of lockup right here into turn 4. You see it's going to push him out just a little bit wide. We're going to find out, though, what the track has in it. I mean, Shane obviously is one of those guys that's going to push it to the limit. He made up most of his ground, though, Adam, on that braking zone into turn 1, and that was something that I referenced earlier. These road course guys, the braking is where a lot of their lap time can be made up. You see he's actually losing a little bit here through this kind of flowier section.
We went from flowy to flowier.
The racetrack. Yeah, I gave you a different option to work with right there. He might have to run again, or maybe just run a second lap. It seems like that lap started off really good. Right now it's going to be close. He crosses the finish line. See where he stacks up. Oof.
Barely jumps in.
Barely.
By 100th of a second, he's in front of Jesse Love, who now drops below that cut line when it comes to advancing to the second round.
Yeah, and they'll have to make a decision here. Come in, get those tires cooled down as much as they can, because I think you're going to see Jesse Love, Karam, Pardis, Brandon Jones, all these guys that are pretty close. They're going to go back out and run again, and that's so stressful as a driver sitting in there trying to figure out, do we need to run again? Because you don't want to run again because it's going to, put more laps on your tires. See right here, this is getting into turn 12. Just a little bit loose, uses a little bit of that curb. See, he slides out. Fortunately, that was past that start-finish line. I think what we saw there was the drivers. We moved the alternate start-finish line down a little bit because guys kept running off of the racetrack, but I think he was just trying to get just that little bit more.
Here's Amanda.
Yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen is inside that cockpit of that Xfinity car right now, telling his team that, gosh, this car was just tight everywhere around here, as you saw on that lockout. The team's going to assess the car, and we'll see what happens, guys.
Thank you, Amanda. By the way, lost in it all. The lap for Parker Kligerman, 1:13.72. That's a new track record. Yeah, we had a new track record in qualifying earlier this year at COTA, so this is the second straight road course where we've established a new track record in qualifying.
Yeah, right now Kligerman is about 4/10 quicker than what the pole was last year. We expect for these guys, because of the limited amount of track time, to most likely run even faster when we get to the second round of qualifying.
I guess it stands to reason that we've only been here 3 times, and talking about how fast we're going. 2 years ago we were here in the rain, right? So we knew that today could very well be flirting with that track record. We've gotten there and still more to go. And we talk about Kligerman in the 113s, Allgaier in the 113 bracket as well, Amanda.
Justin, I saw you talking to the official. What are you guys looking at on the race car?
Yeah, so obviously when you're out here qualifying, you're trying to get everything, and I tried to get a little bit too much getting out into turn 1 and thought maybe we might have flat spotted the right front tire. Fortunately for us, we did not, but you just want to check, especially with the pace as high as it is, and having to run a second round, hopefully, we'll see what happens, but really proud of the team. We traded the corn this week for some cherries on our brand fresh Iron Culture Camaro, and it's really comfortable to drive. I was a little bit concerned with what that short run speed was going to be, like a qualifying lap. But I feel like once we get into race trim, that's where this car is really going to shine. So I feel like, the goal is always to be as fast as Xfinity Internet. But today I feel like we got a car at the table doing that. And we're going to go see how it goes.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
8 stage wins this year. So he's been good in practice. He's been good qualifying. They come out, execute the early portion of the race. And the last 2 weeks, his cars have been unbelievable. And it looks like it's going to be more of the same here today for Allgaier. Look at Karam locking it up into the corner.
Yeah, Sage is down in 7th right now. Only needs little bit of lap time right here. Trying to find just, you know, in a road course, you try to find a half a tenth in each corner. I like seeing that car carry the inside front tire, though. That means it's generating a lot of grip. Trying to get the power down right here, not get too wide, get any dirt on your tires. See right here, though, 4 tenths off heading into that last turn. Just not going to be able to make up that ground. And he probably knows it inside of the car. You're still going to do everything you can.
Well, and even if you don't jump into the top 5, you can, you know, help yourself a little bit when it comes to improving your starting position later today. So there is value in going out and picking up lap time, even if it's not good enough to advance.
Yeah, and I like this. Let's stay out. We'll run another lap. You know, maybe get your rhythm down just a little bit better. Maybe he knows where he made a mistake. You see those markers on the outside of the track. Drivers use those as a reference to the braking zone into turn 1, the heavy braking zone we talked about. You can hear him. A lot of wheel spin on the exit of that corner.
So tight right now at that bubble mark. Van Gisbergen is in. Love is out by 1/100 of a second, but the 2 is back on track. Jesse Love enjoying an incredible rookie campaign. A win at Talladega, a couple of pole positions for him, and he has raced here when he was running in the West Series. Participated here in 2021. Some damage for Brandon Jones.
Yeah, that's got to be from getting off the racetrack. I don't think that would be from the curbs. Had to have gotten off the track somewhere. Oh yeah, I think that's in the last turn. God, we've seen so many cars run off there and not have any issues, but it looks like his car caught the edge of the lip of the asphalt right there, where it has just been dug out from the outside tires digging in, and yeah, they're going to have to replace the splitter for sure on that car. He'll be going to the tail of the field.
That's a great point that you make, because countless times in the last couple of years here, we've seen drivers get off in turn 12 and drive back on with no problems. Not the case for Brandon Jones. Love is flat getting after it on this lap.
He is giving it all it has right now. You see those lap times about a half second off. Listen, a lot of times at a road course, as spectacular as that is to watch, that's not the fast way around. You see these guys that can produce lap times, and they just look so in control and almost slow, but I guarantee you that was fun from inside of the car.
It was fun for us.
Listen to the rear tires squalling.
He's being mean to those things right now.
Yeah, and those guys are all doing the same thing that Shane Van Gisbergen did. When they're exiting turn 11, they're gassing up, knowing they probably can't make turn 12, or it's, you know, not going to be the preferred line, just trying to get that little bit extra to that alternate start-finish line we talked about.
You just have to start your lap. You don't have to finish it for it to count. Van Gisbergen is back out there. Now he's locked in right as of now, but I'm sure they went back out to create a little insurance. And look at what he is putting up some kind of lap here, and it's probably not going to matter, right? Because he's going to advance.
Well, but he doesn't know that. There's a couple other cars on the track that could bump you out. You see, he's going to go to P1 with this lap. He knows what he has. He's, oh, look at that. I mean, getting every bit of it out of that car. I would tell you that crew chief, to the top of the board by 2 tenths. If I'm a crew chief, Adam, I'm telling my driver what I saw with Brandon Jones. I'm going to tell him exactly what happened there so that they don't run off that track trying to get the little bit extra, because the little bit that you gain is not worth what we see right here of having to replace that splitter in the nose and go to the back.
So another run on those tires, but Van Gisbergen is the quickest, fastest lap ever around Portland in an Xfinity car. Group B, round 1, when we roll from Portland.
First, we did the impossible. Then you ate so many of the impossible that we completely ran out. And now, they're back! The footlong cookie is back at Subway.
Refresh your senses with a kick of citrus flavor. Do the do.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, still serves up bottomless chips and salsa in the drink, but now it's available with the all-new Big Smasher Burger with twice the beef of a Big Mac. Maybe they should change that name. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
This isn't Charmin. No wonder I don't feel as clean.
Here's Charmin Ultra Strong.
Ah, my bottom's been saved.
With its diamond weave texture, Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better with fewer sheets and less effort. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. New Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth and 24/7 sensitivity protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
All new Subway wraps are packed with delicious ingredients and a pillowy lavash wrap. Finally, a refreshing lunch that tastes amazing.
Perfect for pro athletes like me, right?
Can I finish? Try all new wraps from Subway today.
Before we start our engines,
and to all the veterans and those that are serving today,
before the green flag flies,
we get to do what we love because of the sacrifices that were made by our military heroes.
we stop and we listen. We look to the skies. The awe-inspiring roar and thunder. To all those near and far, home and abroad, we thank you and we salute you with a little noise of our own.
There's the fastest man in the Pacific Northwest, Shane Van Gisbergen. He was already 5th, but since they were on the bubble, need a little insurance, and he did it with an exclamation point to the top new track record.
He looked at them and said, "Why not, mate? Let's do it."
I like his haircut, personally.
Well, it's the same barber, I believe, that she goes to.
Yeah, I think it is. Let's go to Josh.
Well, yeah, SVG's time came at the expense of Parker Kligerman here with his crew chief, Patrick Donahue, and he said, first of all, you're not letting Parker get out of the car before the next round, but you guys laid down a fast lap of your own.
Yeah, well, that was really good. We were good here last year. We had a little problem, but to come back here today and run what we did, that lap that SVG ran was impressive. But proud of my guys. Everybody's worked hard to come here, and we still got another round, and Parker says there's a little bit more in it. We got a couple adjustments to make and go see what we got in the second round. So.
Confident 48 team, you like to hear that.
But I look at the lap count. He shows 1 lap, Van Gisbergen 3. I don't know how all that nets out for the second round of qualifying, but that could be significant later on, maybe.
You clearly would want to have the least amount of time on your tires at this track.
Top 5 advance, 1 from Collie. You got Parker Kligerman moving on, 2 from Junior Motorsports. Allgaier and Sammy Smith sandwiched in between from Joe Gibbs Racing in that 19 Josh Bilicki. Back down to Amanda.
Well, Shane, we're looking at you at the top of that, but you're not happy. Why?
No, it's all good. We just probably didn't get enough laps in practice waiting. But, yeah, Quadlock Chevy's obviously pretty fast, but I just need to do more laps to learn the track, really. So that was only my 3rd lap of the place, or 4th lap or something, it felt like. So I'll get better, but obviously the car's pretty good.
Thank you, Shane. He did tell his team during qualifying that the car felt tight. They made a few adjustments with the track bar and air pressures before he went back out and put that lap in, guys.
Such a different interview than we got with Allmendinger. Allmendinger complained about doesn't turn, the back feels on top of the track, and Shane seems really pleased with his car. I would tell you it's not going to matter where he qualifies today. He's going to be good. He's going to be really fun to watch in the race, though, no matter where he starts.
Just across the board, what he's done in this first year full-time in the Xfinity Series, and you and I were talking about this before we came on the air today. He was 2nd at COTA when the checkered flag went in the air, but he was penalized because he cut the S's on the final lap. The penalty there is tail end, right, of those on the lead lap. So he went from 2nd to 27th, lost 25 points. If not for that, he would be 9 points below the cut line and knocking on the door, making the points. It's been remarkable what he's done.
I think he's done an exceptional job and has done exactly what we all expected him and wanted him to do by being able to run all the laps. You talk about lack of practice here. They have lack of practice everywhere, and all these tracks are new for him. I think he's done a tremendous job.
He's a rookie at college. And last year, Chandler Smith fit that bill. Now driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. He's out in the 81. This is Group B. They too get 15 minutes. Top 15 advanced, or top 5 rather, advanced to run for the pole.
Yeah, and this is a great view. Look at his eyes. You see him, you'll watch him, his eyes are going to focus on the right. He's going to look at the apex going down into turn 1 right here. You see his eyes kind of get big because it's a fast zone of the racetrack. He focuses on the apex of all those corners where he wants the car to go, hoping he can get the, slowing it down with the brake, using the throttle, using the wheel, trying to get it to that exact point. You hear him hit the rev limiter just a little bit on the entry to turn 4. His first lap wasn't near as quick as what he needed to be. I'm going to say that he made a mistake right there on that lap. And it's so much fun to be able to watch the focus inside of that car.
Riley Herbst heading out on track. And a bit of a moment, Sheldon Creed in the 18.
Yeah, Sheldon caught too much of that inside curb saw it shoot the car up on the inside of that corner, and then Riley Herbst just had nowhere to go right there. It gets to his inside. I don't think there's anything malicious here. I think that's just two guys trying to get back to the start-finish line. Hopefully none of those cars got tore up. You can see, though, that was a good perspective right there of Creed coming back on the track, how rutted out it is. He went a little bit wider than we saw Brandon Jones go earlier.
But pretty close to the same area, though.
Really
and
close, yeah.
We'd kind of already seen his car had returned unscathed, but when we saw the replay, I was a little bit nervous to see what the end result would be. Herbst has the fastest lap so far. 3 drivers in the 1:13 second range. Custer is second, Creed is third. Parker Retzlaff jumps up inside the top 5.
Cole Custer did exactly what we saw some of those guys do earlier. He's second overall right now, but he wasn't sure how good his lap was, so he ran around kind of slow. It's going to show 2 laps on our timing and scoring, but he's in good position.
Now Sam Mayer.
Look at I did not realize the lap time that Riley Herbst had run. I mean, all the way down to a
38.
To a 38 on his first lap. Going to be in really good position here for this second round of qualifying. And it shouldn't be any surprise, right? I mean, Custer was on the pole last year. You see both of those guys quick again. Clearly, Stewart-Haas Racing has a good handle on a setup for this racetrack, and those guys are maximizing it.
Yeah, Custer won this race last year, and you mentioned the fact that he qualified on the front row, but he had to start in the rear, so it was not an easy day for Custer. Only led 5 laps, drove all the way through the field, was there on a late restart, and was able to get the win. But he had a lot of cars to pass despite the fact he qualified on the front row. As Sam Mayer jumps up to third, that knocks Retzlaff below and puts Chandler Smith on the bubble.
So Mayer ran a 1:13.96, you see right there. He's only about a 10th of the good of being bumped out. They've elected to go ahead and stay out at him and run another lap here versus coming in and letting the tires cool down and going out and trying to run again later. I think this is a good tactic, though, because you can see generating a lot more grip. I mean, he's 6/10 of a second up already as they exit turn 9. See, he's lost a little bit down the backstretch, but if he can complete this lap, he's going to put himself with a nice little buffer and be good to go to the next round.
Currently third, 1:13.97 for Mayer, and he really picked it up as he edged towards turn 10 and 11. The alternate start-finish line, he is second. I would tell him pull in right now, and let's get ready for round 2, because I think, you know, that you got to feel good about that, right?
Yeah, really good lap right there. And I don't, you can see all those guys pushing and trying to get to that start-finish line, getting a little bit more. Gosh, I would caution all of them. I know you want to qualify well, but you don't want to run off right there and tear your car up like we saw Brandon Jones do earlier.
Top 5 in Group A, Van Gisbergen, Kligerman, Allgaier, Bilicki, and Sammy Smith. We know they are moving on, and the top 5 from Group B will join them in the second round to run for the pole. Herbst, Mayer, Custer feeling pretty good. Creed's up there with Chandler Smith in the top 5. A.J. Allmendinger in the 16. His teammate was fastest in Group A.
Yeah, and this is an interesting tactic. They've waited a little while to go out, and he's going to have clean racetrack, which A.J. is going to put together a solid lap. But the one thing that I don't like about this is that his time to sit and let his tires cool is going to be significantly less than those guys from round 1. I think that's a little bit of a disadvantage. Here, just a little bit of wheel spin as he exits turn 3. A little bit of on the rev limiter, pretty good right through there. Tells you got a good exit off of that chicane. Right here, this is just all about modulating the brake and the throttle and trying to get as much as you can. Those curves are a little bit rough. You'll feel that in the wheel. It'll push you out just a little bit. The focus right here, though, is as you head over towards turn 7 is to get that car turned, squared up, and get a really good drive on the exit of this corner. And AJ's going to have to run a second lap. You see 7/10 off, 8/10 off. Car just doesn't have the grip. It's almost like both he and Van Gisbergen had the air pressure set maybe a little bit lower because they didn't generate the grip that some of these other guys did on their outlap. See if AJ just goes ahead and commits to running that. No, he doesn't. He's going to come in the pits. Definitely going to have to come in, try to get the tires cooled down a little bit and go back out, because that's a long ways off from where we thought he was going to be today.
He's 10th in his group, so he's going to be starting somewhere fairly, deep when you think about where you anticipate he would come out and qualify.
Yeah, I mean, a second off of what Van Gisbergen ran in the session before, and over a second off of what Riley Herbst has run in this group.
Let's hear from Riley, Amanda.
Yeah, you can see the team assessing the front left of that 98. Riley doesn't feel that that's going to be any issue going forward, but Sheldon Creed kind of surprised you there. How'd you adjust?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like we had a really fast Monster Energy car in practice. Gave up a little bit of grip, I think, with some small adjustments. And Davin and the boys did a good job on this 98 team to give me some grip for qualifying. Unfortunate there at the last corner, everybody throttles up to the alternate start-finish line. But, yeah, apologize to the 18. He was kind of sideways, and I throttled up and, like, simultaneously drifted with him. So it was kind of hectic there from the last corner, but I think we'll be okay, and hopefully we can make it to the last round. Yeah, sorry, I was watching it there. So I don't know. We'll keep fighting. Tough news this past weekend with Stewart-Haas Racing, but everybody on this Xfinity side is ready to get both me and the 00 to Phoenix to race for a championship. So we're going to continue to fight, and thanks for everybody sticking with us.
Thank you, Riley.
Good thought there, big perspective on the team with the announcement that came this week with Stewart-Haas Racing. So it's interesting to me, we saw the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger. We hear from the 98 of Riley Herbst. Those two a part of a wild Saturday afternoon last week at Charlotte.
Yeah, and Adam...
Right before the slider, guys. A.J. wasn't putting up with it. I don't know if he was a fan of the move. Probably a day after. Oh, wow. Cole Custer to 00 up in the defense, really hard. Austin Hill behind him, and he's upset.
I don't understand, dude. He just doored me down the front stretch.
This is a bit of retaliation. It looks like the throttle line is stuck on 21.
If you hear the rest of what Blaney said there, the throttle stuck when his right foot went to the floor and he didn't pick it up. And Josh pointed out earlier, Austin Hill was fined $25,000, penalized 25 points, which is huge when you look at the regular season championship chase. We'll see if there's any carryover for these drivers today.
Yeah, and it's just so interesting, Adam, how it always works out, because Riley talked about retaliation maybe this weekend on AJ. And now we know AJ's going to be fast and Riley's first, so they're probably going to get to race together a little bit. We'll see how that works out. Listen, I want to look at the start-finish line right here. This is the alternate start-finish line. You normally would lift back here where I'm kind of putting these dashes. So normally that's where you would lift to try to make the turn. But the guys are throttling up all the way down to this line, and that's creating where they're running wide. We saw Sheldon Creed run off, and Riley referenced that in what he was talking about. You know, NASCAR moved that this year, hoping that guys weren't going to do this. They thought they'd put it far enough down, but clearly as drivers, you know what we do? We find a way around everything.
Always. 3 minutes to go. It's Group B qualifying, opening round. Top 5 advance to run for the pole. Austin Hill is 8th right now, and he's on it.
Yeah, and Adam, I don't know if you're picking up on this or if the viewers at home can hear it, but in a lot of these corners, you can hear those rear tires, and you can hear them like squealing. Right there, you hear that? You don't want to hear that as a driver. Inside of the car, when you feel that or you hear that, the car starts chattering. You hear guys talk about chatter in the rear tires or chatter in the front tires. That's the sound that you hear inside of the car. And when you feel that, you're not making the grip that you want to. So that's frustrating for these guys. This corner right here is really bad about it.
See the tracker, he's 2/10 off. That's exactly what Jamie's talking about. Those tires squealing.
Yeah, and he's going to go ahead and opt to run a second lap, another lap right here, knowing that lap didn't have the speed that they need.
Look at some of those drivers below that yellow line that would not advance currently. You got Austin Hill, A.J. Allmendinger down there, Anthony Alfredo, who won the pole here 2 years ago, is 12th in Group B qualifying, and everyone trying to join the 5 that advanced from Group A. Van Gisbergen, Kligerman, Allgaier, Balicki, and Sammy Smith.
Yeah, and Austin, I mean, you hear those tires squall, and that car looks really loose. When he tries to apply the throttle, you can hear the engine rev up because it's spinning the rear tires. This car's not carrying the front end like we've seen some of the cars do. It's probably got a little bit of a different setup in it, intentionally not wanting that, but it's just not generating the rear grip. He's going to be frustrated with what's going to happen right here.
Starting to look like 6 of our 10 running for the pole will be from Joe Gibbs Racing and Junior Motorsports. And the teammates from Stewart-Haas appear to be on their way to round 2 as well. Man, he's giving it everything it's got, right?
Oh, so much, yeah. And I'm telling you, we only have a minute and 20 seconds left, and we have 6 or 7 cars on track right now trying to get into that top 5. You see he's loose getting into 9, 10, 11, using as much of the racetrack as he can, trying to drive down to that. Look at the front tires. You see him sawing on the wheel, trying to keep that car underneath him and get to that start-finish line.
I said this earlier, you just have to start your lap. You don't have to finish it. So with 50 seconds to go, keep that in mind as drivers go out and make one last-ditch effort to advance to round 2.
Yeah, and some of these guys, 6th and 7th, both Parker Retzlaff and Jeb Burton, they only need about 3/10. We see Allmendinger has pulled back out, let those tires cool down. This will be a big lap for him. He's going to have a lot of pressure on him, knowing that he's only going to have the one lap, you know, to put it together right here. I don't think he's going to make it. If he does make it back to the start-finish line, it's going to be extremely close.
Need to be to 1:14.03 to jump above that cut line.
See, he's got a little bit in the bank right here, a couple tenths.
The 4 guys bottom right are those that are out there. Austin Green, Jeb Burton, Parker Retzlaff, the teammates at Jordan Anderson Racing, and we're on board with A.J. Allmendinger. Time has expired, so once you cross the start-finish line here, that is it. The alternate start-finish line.
Oh, he drove in there so deep. You see, he made up about 2.5 tenths on the entry to that corner. And if he knew, I knew it, if he knew what we did, that the guys below him were not going to be able to get by him, he wouldn't have
done that.
Oh, he's tore his car up now.
I thought I heard the crunch. I assumed he hit the barrier, and he did. Now, oh, and he hit the curb hard coming back on as well. Allmendinger, the good news, goes to 3rd. The bad news is they've got some damage, and he's not the only one off track. Jeb Burton also going off in turn 12.
Yeah, and again, if I'm a crew chief on the box, I'm going to wear my driver out. I know that we want to be on the pole, but we can't, the 3,000ths that you're making up by pushing that limit, we can't tear our car up heading into the race in just a few hours.
Allmendinger goes to 3rd. Chandler Smith is now on the outside looking in, and here's the lap wrapping up for A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, and all of that, Adam, is just because guys are throttling up, trying to get to that line, and knowing they're not going to make the corner, but they don't really mind about running off. You see Allmendinger's around. Jeb was right behind him, spun in almost the exact same place.
How concerned are you about this damage?
Well, Adam, I was a driver, not a crew chief, so
okay.
I'm not gonna fix the corner for him, but. I mean, I'm sure it's fixable. It's just if it's fixable in the amount of time that we have.
Yeah.
But those panels, you know, are composite now, and then they bolt on something like a kit. It just depends on all the bracing and everything that's underneath that on how tore. Oh,
that maybe concerns me more than backing it into the tire barrier.
Just the back, you know, is maybe fixable. I'm gonna show my driver though right now. Hey, here's why we can't do this.
You should be a driver coach.
And I am actually.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
With a lot of kids.
With a kid, yeah, I'm a driver coach, and I would get frustrated at this. But it's coming back on the racetrack. To me, is doing. He's frustrated.
Yep, no doubt.
I don't blame him a bit. Amanda, we're gonna have to give him a couple seconds, I think.
Or 10 or 12 minutes,
or
maybe.
Maybe until 4:30. Yeah.
Let's go to the other end of the equation. Chandler Smith fell below that cut line, doesn't advance, Josh.
And Chandler Smith, just watching what happened to A.J. Allmendinger, said he's going to the back with you. Just found out you have to go to the back to start the race. So what's going on with the car?
Yeah, we just had huge lockup on my money lap going into 11 to 12. Had somebody that was just getting started on their lap and had a check up last minute right before the alternate start finish line. And unfortunately, we locked up the right front so bad it completely flat spotted and showing cords now. So it's okay. I feel like we have a really fast number 81 quick type product Toyota GR Supra. I think we're in contention to be as fast as Xfinity Internet today. We just got to make a small tweaks here and there and make sure we keep all 4 on the racing surface today, keep a clean nose, and I think we can be there at the end.
All right, appreciate it, and good luck, Chandler.
I love every interview I hear. Big shout out to my pit crew today. They're going to be killing it on pit road today. I'm talking 5 on, 5 off, 20-second pit stops. We're going to be money.
You heard it here right here first from Jim calling his shot for his team.
Josh, they might solicit your help down there, actually. Pit stop's going to be unique. We'll get into that as the day unfolds. We're running for the pole when we continue from Portland.
At Domino's, we know there's a lot of pressure to tip these days.
Great set, bro. Now take a look at this screen real quick.
Which is why we want to say
thanks for the tip
by tipping you back. Tip your driver $3 or more online and we'll tip you $3 to use on next week's order.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin night and day. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now I have Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some Rinvoq patients felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days. Some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. And many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Help heal your painful skin. Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
With Cascade Platinum Plus, I have upped my dish game.
Auntie, in that dishwasher.
Watch me.
Platinum Plus gives you the highest standard of clean, even in your machine.
Clean enough for you?
Yeah.
Scrape, load, done. Cascade Platinum Plus.
In here, you can expect to find crystal clear audio, expansive display space, and more comfort for everyone. But we still left room for all the unexpected things you'll find out here. The new 2024 Grand Cherokee lineup. Jeep, there's only one.
Right now during the Jeep Memorial Day sales event, get the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee starting at $38,290 MSRP. Visit Jeep.com for details.
Introducing Domino's new New York-style pizza, made with our fresh, never-frozen dough that's stretched thin and cut into 6 foldable slices. But what's the best way to eat it? Fold it, fork and knife it, or double-handed? Order Domino's New York style and decide for yourself.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Nashville Super Speedway.
That's right, guitars and fast cars right here in Music City. This summer, NASCAR is back at the Nashville Super Speedway. Get your tickets now to watch your favorite driver take on the 1.33 miles of concrete chaos. Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com to lock in your spot June 28th through the 30th for the Ally 400 race weekend.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
They're going to fix it.
Opening round of qualifying is complete at Portland for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And we give to you now the 10 drivers. And actually, we should put an asterisk on this because we know that A.J. Allmendinger's got some issues. These are the fast 10 from the drivers in that opening round and, in theory, would move on and run for the pole, Jamie.
Who do you like the most? What we've seen so far today?
I'm going to go with Riley Herbst because he's got the one lap on his tires. What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna go with the obvious. I'll go with SVG.
Of course you will. He's got 3 laps on his tires. That's my only concern. Let's go to Amanda.
Well, I can see the smashed-in rear end of A.J. Allmendinger's car. His seat insert is on top of that car. The backup car is down from the hauler. A.J. Allmendinger got out of his car with helmet and Hans device on and walked right into his hauler. And just a couple stalls down, I'm sitting next to Brandon Jones, who had a little incident in qualifying as well. You can see the work going on here, a full front nose replacement happening for him. Your crew chief was even underneath the car working on it. Brandon, how much of a back foot does this put you on?
Yeah, first off, I just hate this from Magic Woods and Menards. I think that we came here yesterday, we had the ARCA race, we had a really good run in that car, had some great momentum to build on for today. I thought that was really going to help me, and I think it did. Just trying to find a little bit here and there, and now seeing the result, that wasn't the right place to push, right? Like that was not the place to try to get a little bit of lap time, but it's just kind of hard to know. Not having the Cup side here, we don't have our SMT that we typically do to rely on, so it's all off of just visuals and feel, and but that wasn't the place to get it. But looking forward to the race. I've seen so many people do this exact same thing and drive, inside the top 5 at the end of the races. So AJ's one of the best in the business. You see what happened to him. We'll keep pushing, keep working. Looking forward to the race this afternoon.
And Brandon was the runner-up in the ARCA Menards West race last night right here. Said the experience did help and knows it'll continue to help in race.
Yeah, and Adam, they're going to replace the nose splitter on that car. It's important at a road course, not near as important as you have at the ovals, though.
Here's the thought. You go from here, you go to Sonoma, and you got to work on these cars. And some of these teams will use the same primary week to week. Some will not. Everyone's got a little bit different school of thought on how to manage that. 621 miles down the coast.
Only 621 miles.
You just feel like it's from Charlotte to Martinsville or something because we're on the West Coast. But it is a fairly long haul and could be a long day for some of these teams as they prep for this afternoon's event.
We talk about, like, this is a really good car to reference this. When you look at how high the front end is going to get on this car as it exits the corners, that's part of the reason that splitter and front end's not near as critical at a track like this, because it's just not as efficient.
You get 10 minutes in round 2. Fastest here will start on the pole later today. Already 2 minutes expired, and the first one that's going to bring it around, the 19 of Josh Bilicki. What a great job he has done adapting to a new team and adapting to a car that is so fast. And I say that only because a lot of times he's with an underdog team, and that can be an adjustment, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the pressure when you're with an underdog team, it's just different. You're not expected to do well. He's fully expected to run in the top 5, top 7 today, being in this car. We know this car is going to be a car that's capable of winning, and he knows that. So a lot of pressure on him today, but man, as a driver, that's what you want. I want to be in the best car, and I want all the pressure.
A couple of highlights from this 19 team. I read this week Brett Moffitt going to drive the 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing at his home track in Iowa in a couple of weeks. And next weekend, Ty Gibbs will drive this car. Series champion, he'll be good in Sonoma.
See, he got a little bit loose. This is... Oh, listen to those rear tires just squalling all the way around the track. So he ran a 1:14.33, a little bit slower than what he ran in the last round. We'll see, though. He's going to run a second lap and see if he can put it all together, time it out just a little bit more. Oh, you see him using all the racetrack right there. 1:14.24 for Parker Kligerman. So
Kligerman fastest of the two that have taken time.
It's just it's interesting, though. Both of those guys ran slower. I thought with coming in and cooling their tires down that they'd be a little bit better. You got something down there, Amanda?
Hey guys, we were right here to do an interview with AJ Allmendinger. NASCAR official did come over and they're going to take him to the care center. I was talking to him a little bit off camera and I asked AJ, how good are you with bouncing back after moments like this? He said, to be honest, not great at all.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, if he was mad prior to that, the fact that he has to go to the infield care center now for the wreck he was in, which is just a protocol, that's only going to set him off even more.
Allgaier did finish his lap. He goes 1:13.82. Bilicki runs again and improves, so he goes from third to second at a 1:13.99 as they continue to work on that 16. So Bilicki appears to be done. He pulls it in just over 5 minutes to go in round 2, the final round of qualifying.
Yeah, and based on what we see right now, Adam, your pick of Riley Herbst is looking pretty good because he's got a half second. He can run slower and still be quicker than Justin Allgaier. But I think you're going to see those top Herbst and SVG. I think you're going to see them run equal to or maybe just a little bit better than what they ran in that first round.
Van Gisbergen is on track. And as we follow his progress, we remind you of the busy day of motorsports on the Fox family of networks, 1 o'clock Eastern time, top of the hour. Trucks Race Day, that's on Fox. The Toyota 200 from St. Louis on Fox as well, 1:30 Eastern. And then you can come back over to FS1, 4 o'clock Race Day for Xfinity, and we're on the air 4:30 Eastern time. Trevor Bayne joins Jamie and me for round 13.
Hey, one thing Adam, I think it's really interesting right here is you see Sheldon Creed's leading them down into turn 1. Van Gisbergen is right there behind him. They're all pretty close to each other, and I wouldn't want that, because if one of those guys makes a mistake and decides at any point in this lap, hey, I'm going to cool down just a little bit and try to get another run start-finish line, you're going to have to go around them. So I think that's an interesting strategy that they want to pull out and be so close to each other.
What is that balance of having a carrot and someone to kind of chase versus, as you said, it being a distraction, or if they have a problem, now you have nowhere to go?
Yeah, I mean, it's all driver preference. I would, you know, I don't know that I would need the rabbit. I think that, you know, right now in qualifying, you kind of know what you're going to have. Shane obviously got to take a couple of attempts at it. You see he's got a great lap going. It's going to be pretty comparable to what he ran in that first round. It's going to be around a 50 or a 60, which is kind of where we expected them to be.
Creed's going to cross just before him, and you see Creed is in the red on the tracker, but Van Gisbergen in the green, and he will go to the top. 1:13.42 for the 97.
Yeah, so a little bit quicker, about a 10th and a half quicker than he ran in that first round. Riley Herbst's going to have to really put it together right here if he's going to be able to do that. He'll have to run as quick, if not quicker, than he did earlier.
Everyone on our tracker is comparable to the pole position, which right now that 1:13.42. Here's Sam Mayer, fastest in practice, good enough to advance to round 2 of qualifying, and he's hanging right there.
He's got a great lap going right here. It's gonna be really close. See, he gets a little bit loose right there.
Saw some green flash, good enough to go to the top for Sam Mayer. 1:13.38 for the driver out of Wisconsin.
And about a 10th and a half quicker than he ran in that opening round, so great lap by Sam Mayer.
2 cars on track with under 3 minutes to go. The teammates from Stewart-Haas Racing, the Fords of Riley Herbst and Cole Custer.
Oh, Herbst comes up just a little bit short. You saw he tried to get all he could, locked up that left front. Riley ran about 3.5 tenths slower than he did in the opening round. I mean, when you just look at that time that's left, I don't think you can come in and cool down. I'd be curious to see if Shane decides to try to run another lap right here. He's still on track. He could take another attempt at it, but you know, I'm fine starting second. I just think the risk versus reward there and tearing your car up is not going to be worth it. You see, all these guys are still pushing to that start-finish line, trying to get all that they can.
2 minutes to go, and only 9 cars rolling in this final round, because obviously A.J. Allmendinger had the issue. Good enough to advance him, but unfortunately they're working on that car, so he will not make a run. He'll have to start in the back. That's why you only see 9 drivers that are running here in this second and final round of qualifying.
Yeah, and this is going to be close. You see, looks like he gave up a little bit of time on entry right there. We'll see if he can make it up as he gets back to the throttle. Gosh, he looked like he was within 2-3 of being able to go, and Shane is going to opt to look at that lap time. Unbelievable. Yeah, he's decided to stay out, put together another lap.
Parker Kligerman is also back out on track.
A lot of green on our screen there.
You know, you asked me who do I like. I almost picked Mayer, and I went with Herbst. And I know you don't believe me.
Too bad.
But I'm rooting for Mayer here because you picked Van Gisbergen, and there is no prize for finishing second, you know?
I think you're going to come out okay on this. You know, my favorite part of watching Shane, you see he's going to come up just a little bit short here. But, it looked like he might get it right there at the end. It's going to be watching him in the race, Adam, and seeing those guys are able to find passing zones where others can. It's going to be pretty exciting to watch him.
Inside of 40 seconds. Just got to start the lap, don't have to finish it. So Kligerman can come back around.
Yeah, Kligerman's actually, he obviously had an issue on that lap. He was down to a 1:14.12, which is slower than he ran earlier. You see, he got into turn 1. Actually, exits turn 2. Did a pretty good job through that whole little section.
Whole lot of green here right now.
And you heard the rev limiter right there. Man, as a driver, you know you got off the previous corner good. Just hearing that.
He's losing a little bit of ground there in the flowy portion of the road course.
Part of that is because the flowy section of the track there's some give and take on you know how deep, how much you charge the corner versus how much you get on exit. But man, when you look at Mayer's lap, which is what we're comparing to, he doesn't appear to be real quick through turn 1, but he was really fast through that 4, 5, 6, 7 section.
Last 13 road course races, one from a driver who started inside the top 5. Kligerman does pick up one position from 8th to 7th. Qualifying
All
is
smiles.
complete, and it's Sam Mayer who led the way in practice. He'll lead him to the green later today. He's on the pole for the 3rd time in his career. Last time he won a pole, the Charlotte Roval. Last fall, he went on to victory lane. Joining him on the front row, Shane Van Gisbergen. That's how things will look when we go green later this afternoon in Portland. It's round 13 for the Xfinity Series. Coverage starts at 4. It's time for Trucks on Fox. Race day happens right now, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Enjoy.